We're playing X-ODUS, the cooperative space adventure game from Board Game Inc. Hello everyone and welcome back to the BattleCast. In today's video we are going to be trying out the prototype of an upcoming Kickstarter called X-ODUS. It's from Board Game Inc. and this is a cooperative modular space adventure game. And you can find out more about the game at their website, which I'll have linked in the description below. You can look at the whole rule set there. I'll kind of briefly go over it in this video, and I will also have a Kickstarter preview of this game coming out very soon, or maybe it's already out depending on when you're watching this. Now, I try my best to nail the rules here. I may make a couple goofs, it's just the way it is. And I'm probably playing on easy mode. Well, I'm definitely playing on easy mode, but I go a little easy on myself sometimes here. So the game is super fun. This is part 1. It's a 3-part series of gameplay. Hope you enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Alright guys, so laid before me is the space exploration / cooperative doomsday scenario game, X-ODUS. And so if I could briefly summarize what the objective is in here we have a whole bunch of planets that need exploring. Now, as we explore the planets, we're going to see, find places to explore, enemies to fight, all that stuff. But what we're looking for are these precursor signals. There's 3 of them, and they're kind of buried in here, equidistant apart. So kind of like in Pandemic, where it's going to be in the next 5 cards, but it's been shuffled in there. So we got to explore to find the precursor signal. When we find a precursor signal, we have to complete a challenge. And when we get all 3 signals, we're going to find the main rift at the end, and we have to get to the rift and cash in the keys to stop the rise of the corruption. Now, all the while we're doing this, we're going to be leveling up. We're going to be pursued by avatars, which are going to come into the game as the clock progresses. If at any time this red marker here reaches the end, we lose. So there's a definitive amount of turns in this game. We have slots in our ships that give us special abilities. So I'll briefly go over what they are. The battleship here, he levels up. He gets experience when he forms a fleet. And his bonus is he can help people ignore damage. He kind of is like a tank, I guess. The explorer, who has 4 actions instead of 3, like these 2, it can boost its stealth rolls, so when it enters a new space, it has a higher chance of being not detected. And then this guy, the warship, obviously is just all about killing, and he can do tons of damage. So you're going to find out how the game plays. I'll talk about it in my review as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start. So we've got our 3 guys starting in this main rift. Now, as you can kind of see here, there are these symbols all around. So the next thing has to go right here. And, it can get a little bit dicey, but what we'll do is we're going to, and you can activate at any time. If you form a fleet, you have to activate all in one go. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by going with the Explorer. And he is going to do what's called a blind jump. So it means I'm going to reveal a location here, and I have to follow up. Now, I could shoot a probe in if I wanted to, but that's not what I'm going to do. So here we go. Look at that. It happens to be a friendly system. So I reveal the system. I can orient it however I want. In this system, it can be explored, and so that's why there's a white cube there. And also, it's an ally system because it has this symbol on it. And so in this ally system, we discover the precursor specialist. And let me just focus that in. So on the system, he actually has, he can sell us mods. So this guy could, what happens is we take 2 of these precursor ship modules and put them next to him, and also 2 regular modules. Now, whenever we want, for an action, we could buy those for actually we reveal them. We can buy them for their revealed cost for scrap. Now, none of us have scrap at this time, but who knows, that could come into play. I sort of don't think it will at this time. Anyway, I blind jumped with my explorer, so he moves in. That's one action. As my second action, I'm going to explore. So I'm going to take this cube off, okay? And I'm going to reveal the top of the explorer, and it is a avatar remnant. So it's a warning, which means it's kind of like an in-between difficulty. And so there's a couple things we can do. If I was a scholar, which I am not, you can see here I'm actually a rogue, so I don't get the option to do this scholar. So that's cool. I can access the avatar's logs and travel records, and that will be to reveal 2 spaces in 2 further planets connected to this one. And then also I could do a skill roll, hack the avatar's network to send a false signal. Now, if I succeed, I prevent the avatar's movement this turn, but you know, like there is no avatar out right now. So I'm gonna just go ahead and access the avatar's logs. So 2 things happen as a result of what just happened. One, because I explored a system, this guy gains an experience, which is exactly what we want. Secondly, I get to reveal the next 2 cubes. So I'm going to reveal this guy, which is also an ally, and again, I can orient it however I want. And I'll do the next one, which is an enemy, again, orienting however I want. Now, my rationale for putting that one exactly where I put it is that it's going to be close enough for my homies to get to my battleship and stuff. So same thing, we're going to put the cube here, cube. Now you may be able to see these symbols or not. I think you can, yeah. So this one here is like a radar. That means when you enter that system, you are detected. And this one means that there is an enemy ship there. And I believe that means that it's actually a bonus enemy ship, or maybe it's just an enemy ship. Yeah, so it's just one enemy ship is patrolling the system. So regardless, my explorer has done 2 actions, blind jump and then move. So he's going to do another move into this neighboring system right there. And then lastly, I'm going to do another explore action. So I'm going to lift this card. So first things first, I explore, which brings me up to the slot here that says 2 mods. Now that's really cool because in here there are a myriad of mods that you can get, and the order that you get them in is set. But there's 2 types of mods. There's mods that require energy and mods that are passive. Now this one here is, you can see it's when you explore, that's the catch here, but it's double-sided. So one is the short-range scanner. I gain 2 scrap when I explore, and one is the long-range scanner. I gain 1 scrap when I reveal. And revealing is different than exploring. So I could do like a hyperspace jump and jump through 3 spaces, and then I would get 3 scrap. But I'm going to go for when I explore. Now how I signify that that's what I've chosen rather, is I slip it underneath my sheet. It's going to get a little tight, I bet, in here. So I'm going to slip it under my passive section, which is right here. And there we go. Now you actually get that, I believe, immediately. Could be wrong, but I believe I actually get 2 scrap for the exploration I'm doing right this moment. Could be wrong, hopefully not. Oh well, I'm playing on easy mode anyway. So we're going to flip up the explore here, and it's a blue. It's an analysis, and this is the lowest level difficulty thing. So firstly, it's an ancient monastery. The monks living in this mountaintop monastery still revere the precursors as gods and are willing to offer any help they can in your fight against the corruption. So if I'm a rogue, which I am, I can dismantle some of the artifacts in the monastery, and I can gain a free mod. I can listen to their tale of the precursor fall, and I can reveal a location, and then I convince them to send a message against the corruption, which reduces the movement of the cursor. So I'm obviously going to go for the rogue option and gain a free ship module. So I'm going to draw the ship module, and here it is. So when I explore, I gain a scrap, and this is a passive module. You can say it says passive on the side. So guess what? That's going to join my sweet when I explore, I gain. So now when I explore, I get 3 scrap, which is crazy. But I moved, I explored, and I moved and I explored. So I'm done. So I flip this little thing over, and that means my character's done. You may or may not be able to see those. Yeah, you can. Okay. So, on to my other two guys here, and they are going to form a fleet. So, when I form a fleet, this guy gains an experience, just straight up. Then what I'm going to do is with both of them, I'm going to move into this system. Now I'm automatically detected in that system, and I'm going to draw an enemy card who comes to play. So we have here the Chaser, and we can see here a couple things. So one, he has one shield that always has to be broken through every time we attack. He has 6 health here, and also he has a special ability. When we roll at least a miss, you have to use defense during the next attack. So there's 2 types of attacking in this game. There's like full on or defensive. Now in this game, enemies do damage to you when you attack them. So for example, I'm going to roll these dice, and the reason I've calculated these dice is you can see on the sheet here, the battleship has a red and a yellow dice, and the warship has 2 red dice. Red have more hit symbols on them, like so. But every dice has a 50% chance to miss. Now if you do a defensive roll, you roll 1 dice and you ignore any misses. But on an offensive roll, you roll 2 dice. And if you roll a miss, you actually get hit for 1 damage. So I'm going to go ahead and just roll offensive because I'm feeling like I can do it. So I'm going to go ahead and roll all these dice. Now you should keep them separate. So these 2 red are going to be for the warship. Okay, wow, very, very good hit. And I'll show you what I got after the roll. And these are for the battleship. Okay, so in total, this is what I rolled onto this fella. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits onto this. And if I had 1 more, I could kill it. And it's not impossible. Ooh. We can do a Berserker Cannon on this guy, which means he can like re-roll and it gets real nasty. But I think given that we, haven't taken any damage and we've totally clocked this guy, we're just going to keep it. So, because I can't get much more damage than that. It's pretty brutal. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit him for a total of 6, but because he has the shield, it's actually just 5. So we're not quite enough to get him, but here we go, 5. And that's the end of their turn because they've moved, and attacked. And they only have 3 action, these guys. So they flip over, and that's the end of the round for the good guys, as it were. And then we go into the end phase. So first thing we do is we advance the corruption up 1, okay? And then we the avatars move, but there's no avatars. The fleets are disbanded, so they're disbanded. And yeah, that's it basically. So we start again. So I think it's pretty simple what I'm going to do here. I'm going to join as a fleet with these guys. So they're going to join. And because the battleship has now, or the battlecruiser has now joined as 2 fleets, he's gained 2 experience. And now I get the protector laser, which as a passive ability, for an energy, you or another ship ignore 1 miss, critical miss, or interceptor laser. An energy symbol counts as a hit, and you ignore. So one's like helping the team, and one is getting more damage. And I think, given that his first ability is he can spend an energy to everybody ignore, let's go ahead and let's make him a little more offensive so he can count lightning as hit. Lightning count as hit, and I can ignore. He just always ignores 1. So that's actually pretty good. One thing I didn't talk about is energy, which are these chips here. Now these things, you can buy more of them, but they're basically are required to use abilities on, upgraded abilities and such. So they've formed as a fleet. That's not an action, that's a free thing. He leveled up, and now they're going to attack this guy very similarly. So the warship's going to roll, and he's going to roll, he rolls a 3 hits and a critical miss, and the battleship's going to roll, and he rolls an absolute mech ton of hits. And then what happens is the warship's going to take a damage, or I could spend an energy on the battleship, and everybody stops and doesn't take a damage. So I will. So I flip this energy token over. We ignore that hit. We blow this guy out of the water with the amount of damage we just did. So that's sweet. And now everybody gets a scrap equal to the enemy's level. He was a level 1 enemy. So both the battleship and the warship get 1 scrap, but the warship moves up a space because when he defeats an enemy, he gets an experience. And then we do something which is called pacifying a system. So these orange systems here are enemy systems. And when we hurt them and when we kill their army, we pacify the system. And what it means is that for 2 turns, no enemies are going to engage us in there, essentially. This turn they're not, next turn they're not, and then it returns to normal. So that was 1 action. Now we could blind jump into another system and get some fighting going, or we could explore this system. But I'm going to blind jump. I want to go party. So we're going to reveal this, and look at that. So this is a, I can't remember what these are called, a corrupted system, and they don't do anything useful for us. They're neither good nor bad per se. You can't explore them, but what happens is avatars can spawn in them and muck you up. Now, you'll notice that I had to put that there, and that's because it has to go where there's a clear spot. A hyperspace lane is what it's called. And that's what's so cool about this game is every time the channels are different. I'm going in a straight shot here because I have to. Now I blind jumped into that system. And now what I have to think about is, hey, if I blind jump into a system with ships, you know, I can't even fight them. Now they don't hit me back unless I'm instructed to. So you know what? I think I'm just going to blind jump anyway. So they've attacked for 1, they blind jump for another, and here we go. It's an ally system, and this has a wormhole in it. Now we can position this however we wish, so I'll do it like that. It, of course, has yet to be explored, so there we go. We bring it in, and a wormhole means if I see that symbol on another system, I can jump from that place to another, which is super cool, but avatars can do that too. Ooh. Okay, so I fought, jumped. Those 2 boys are done. No more. Now we're over to our explorer, and he gets a lot of cash for exploring. So he's gonna so actually for an action, I'm going to do a ship maintenance. Now I can spend 2 scrap as indicated by the first slot here. It's the same for everybody, and you actually gain an energy. So this is an energy that I can use for the rest of the game. Spending actions and scrap to gain energy is a really tough choice because 1, it takes an action, 2, it takes resources, but man, having energy in the late game is a pretty big deal. So anyway, there's one of my actions gone. I went and I bought something. Now I'm gonna blind jump. What do we got? We got a enemy system. So this is an enemy system. There's 1 ship hiding in this system. I can orient it however I wish. Let's go ahead and do it this way. And there is strategy to how you orient these because later the avatars are going to just start rolling through this place. Okay, I blind jumped in, so in I go. And now I do what's called a detection roll. So a detection roll is I basically just roll both my dice. And if I roll any red hits, I'm detected. So here I am rolling the explorer's dice. And would you look at that? I rolled none to hit. But what's more is that the explorer actually has the cloaking shield, and I can ignore 1 symbol anyway. So he's actually a fairly good person to go around doing exactly what I'm doing with. So that's another action in. I am going to explore this place. Let's do it. Up comes, warning, it's a precursor artifact. The strange precursor device locks onto your ship's signature and sends energy your way. You might keep the influx under control and fully recover your health and energy. Now that's actually really cool, but I am fully recovered health and energy, so fine. Now if I'm a rogue, I can trigger a feedback loop to fry the device and gain a precursor item for free, or I can even heal 2 health. But I'm actually going to choose the rogue option, obviously, and get a free precursor artifact. So we draw off the top here, and it's space-time manipulation. When you use a wormhole, you and your fleet can jump to any revealed tile. It's a passive. Now we're filling up on passive, and I'm not totally sure, if I'm honest, if these guys take up these slots or what the deal is. I'll have to find out. But I explored the system, so I level up or I gain an experience. And because I explored, I get 3 scrap, because that's just how my guy's rolling right now. It's all luck that I got that second piece. So there we go. So I've purchased energy, I've moved, and I've explored for 3, and I can do 1 more. And with my last action, because I can't explore or anything like that, I'm going to do what's called a hyperspace jump. And that is jumping 3 times. Now the hyperspace jump is super trippy because you are not entering the systems that you go into. You're moving through them, so if they are enemy, you don't have to roll. But you do end in the last one. So here we go. Hyperspace, oh no, pardon me. Like I was getting excited. Hyperspace jump takes 2 actions, so not good. I think what I'll do for my last is I'm going to actually just spend the 3 scraps and get another energy. No, let's explore. Blind jump into the next. Okay, look at that. There are 2 enemies in this space here. Holy Toledo. I'm going to put it like this, okay? I really don't want to be detected here. But if anyone can do it, it's the Explorer. So let's go, let's roll his dice. So I got a double critical miss, which means that even if I spend an energy to, oh, interesting, actually. Can I use that multiple times? I mean, I do have 2 energy. Can I ignore it twice? I sort of suspect you can only use them once. It actually doesn't say. I know some of them are one-time use. There's a specific symbol for one-time use. So I'm actually going to go ahead and say, okay, could be wrong here. I could be playing on easy mode, but I am going to flip over both my energies to make my cloaking device so strong that it actually prevents my totally abysmally roll from revealing me. And then I jump into the system. So wow, crazy. So that's a whole turn done for everybody there. And so we go to the end phase, which is we move the avatars, we advance this thing, and then we move them. So nothing so far, but next turn, an avatar is coming to play, and we do not want to be around when that happens. The other thing is we flip this pacified system to a still pacified, but shit's about to go down next round. So everybody's back to normal. We reset our energy, so come on back. And let's play. So, gosh, it's funny. All the good exploring is happening down here and over this way, and then all the fighting's happening up here. And I wish it were the opposite. But okay, let's go ahead and go with our home skillets down in the bottom. So they're going to form a fleet. So battleship gets an experience. They're going to blind jump. Where are they going? Enemy system. That's exactly what we want. So we're going to go here, and let's go ahead and pop it just like that. We'll put a white cube on it for the possibility of exploring. And we're going to blind jump in. Now we can roll a detection roll. And guess what? We have to roll all the dice for everybody. So in a fleet, as it would make sense, it's very likely that you are going to be detected. However, you can also choose to fight, which I am, because I want to fight. So we're going to draw an enemy card here, and it's the Interceptor, level 1, no shield, 5 health. When you disengage, lose an action. Oh, buddy, we are not going to disengage. So we blind jumped in for 1. Let's throw down. So we're about to throw down on this bro. So these are the warships dice, and he rolls a whopping 3 hits, battleships dice. He rolls a energy and 2, and that's actually 5 damage. Because the energy for the battleship count as hits, and we're going to flip the battleship's energy over so everybody can prevent a damage being done. That's what would have happened with this dice right here. And so we do the perfect amount of damage, kablow, actually 1 extra, and kill the interceptor. So both these fellas gain an energy because that's a level 1 ship. So they both have 2. And more importantly, the warship levels up because that's the second enemy he's killed. And this is what we have. This is our jam. So when you defeat an enemy, I can recover all of my energy, or when you defeat an enemy, he can heal 2 health. Whoa. Reaver alloys or absorbing alloys. Man. Given that this ability here, it's very high rolly, I can re-roll a dice, but I double the result. So if it's a hit, I take 2 damage. So I'm actually going to play it safe. And I'm going to go, when I defeat an enemy, I heal damage. It's going to allow me to do some other things, I suspect. So there we go. So they've blind jumped in, okay. They've killed an enemy, fought, and they have 1 action left. And for both of them, they're going to upgrade that energy slot. Oh yes, they are. Oh yes. Very good indeed. So now they both have 2 energy to work with. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Okay, so they're done. I mean, they only get 3 actions each, and they have to do the same actions when they're in a fleet. Let's go over to our friend the Explorer, and he's gonna, guess what? He's gonna explore. So, gonna explore, means he levels up, and when he's exploring, we get a new mod. What do we get? What do we get? We get a passive, no, an active. So it says, when you send a probe, spend an energy and reveal an additional adjacent system, or when you send a probe, spend X energy to reveal from a system located X tiles away. Whoa, reveal from... That's trippy. Reveal from... Yeah, so we can shoot it out even farther. I'm going to go for simplicity, reveal an additional adjacent system. So there we are. Also, when we explore, we get 3 scrap. Oh my god. These guys are over there fighting, getting 1 scrap per kill. And this guy's going around getting 3 scrap every time he explores. So that feels pretty good. So we've explored, and now let's actually draw the Explore card. Oh boy, shoot. So danger. Obviously that does not look very good. It doesn't look like a good time. The cultist ambush, do not want to be there. So, guess what? It's a skill check. There's only one option. Skill roll. You respond to a distress signal only to find yourself in the middle of a cultist trap. You'll have to fight your way off if you want to escape unscathed. I'm not very good at fighting, but basically, out of the 2 dice that I have to roll for the Explorer, I need 2 hit symbols. And guess what? The Explorer's not very good at fighting. Here we go. Oh, he crushes it. I get 4 symbols and a lightning. Cultist ambush, fail. So, that sucked. I wanted some fat loot, didn't get fat loot. Okay. Having narrowly avoided a cultist ambush, we're going to leave it here for part 1. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel for part 2 for this playthrough, which will be coming out shortly. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. New videos come out every Friday or Saturday. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like or even subscribing to the channel, or you can leave me a comment in the section below. Until next video, I'll see you then. Thanks.